Good morning, everyone. We're so excited to be back from Phoenix and to be able to share the incredible highlights with you all this morning. And I apologize in advance for the technology not being the greatest, but you're going to get some great information. And I hope it's been my prayer that you would leave here just deeply encouraged and with fire in your belly to inspire healthy living with those that you love and care about. So, this first slide, conference is about the people, right? It's a family reunion. We love coming together to be with the people that we love. And so I wanted to start that off with my beautiful friend Amy. And I didn't get near enough pictures, but so just with full disclosure, I want you to know that you're going to be hearing from me for a bit. I'm going to share some information from the NMD meeting. And then I got a phone call at 9 a.m. on Friday, just as the music was starting to open conference, and my daughter was having her fourth baby. She was on her way to labor and delivery. So, the beauty of our business is that we can keep first things first and we can be, where we need to be when we need to be there. So by 10:30, I was on a flight back home and I was in the delivery room when that baby came that night. And so that is the beauty of our business. It's all about the people, and it's all about keeping first things first and sharing the most amazing product available in the world with no close second with those that we love and care about. So I'm going to share some photos that I took. So the NMD meeting started off with Mike, and he began with this quote: "Money makes life a bit easier. Things make life a bit more beautiful. Experiences make life a bit more memorable, but people make life rich." And we all know that to be true. And it is the people in this company that make us the company with a heart. And he shared something that he learned early on in his leadership journey that has stuck with him, that he said he believes encapsulates what we have here at the Juice Plus Company. And I would just have to say, I agree wholeheartedly. We have positive emotions. Truly, as Dr. Sears loves to say, it's the helper's high. We feel so much joy and gratitude for what we have been given with the Juice Plus products, that then we love to share hope and the content that we have with those that we care about. Um, it's about celebration. It's about believing in ourselves, believing in others. And what I love to say, it's about doing what you love with the people you love. And then E is for engagement, being deeply involved or absorbed in what you're doing. And I will tell you this, I have never been more excited or more committed to sharing what we have to offer with the world than I am in this moment right here and now. And y'all, I know we've been through a lot, but we have made it to the other side. And it is, I believe, the best season to be doing what we get to be doing. And I do think it's a privilege and an honor to get to do what we get to do. It's all about relationships. We have strong, supportive relationships in our Juice Plus family. We consider each other family. We are the Juice Plus family. We share with our family, with our friends, with the people we care about, and we have such a sense of community and a sense of belonging here. And y'all, that has not changed. A lot of things have changed, but that has not changed. And meaning there is such purpose in what we do. Um, what we have to offer the world makes a difference. Um, it improves the lives. We are mission driven, and we are all about inspiring healthy living around the world. And we're all about, as Jay Martin said, helping as many people as possible realize their dreams and achievement. It's about personal growth. It's about recognition for your results. And y'all, I have to say, I read a medical article right before I went to conference. It was very timely. And the article said that you can reduce your risk for dementia by 30% by learning new things. Okay, so hello, have we been learning new things at the Juice Plus Company over the last, I don't know, it's been a while. It's been a hot minute that we've been learning a lot of new things. And guess what? We got some other new things to learn. But here is what I do want to say to y'all. I had a great conversation with Terry Self, and this is what gives me so much joy and what helps me not get paralyzed with all the newness. Because the new things we've really got some great new things coming. But I'm not somebody who loves change. I don't know if y'all love change. I don't love change. Well, we've had to adapt to a lot of change, right? But what I will say is that what brings me joy is that I'm actually doing the very same thing that I did 23 years ago that brought me so much joy and gave me such a sense of purpose. And that is, I am sharing the most thoroughly researched nutritional product in the world, no close seconds, with the people that I love and care about. I am watching this incredible product make a huge difference in the lives of those I share it with. I'm having events to share education, to share encouragement, to be together, and have that personal touch. And I'm sharing this amazing opportunity that we have that had I not known about 23 years ago, I would have had to have gone back to work. And because of this opportunity, I didn't have to go back to work. I was able to do the work I loved at home while I cared for my children. And that's the story of many of us who are here today. So the basics of what we're doing is the same, even though the tools are different, the systems are different. What we do and what we love is the same. So don't let that leave you. The joy that you had at the beginning can be the same joy today. Don't let the rest of the stuff paralyze you. So we heard a lot from our technology folks, and I will tell you, the head of technology, he is so golden, and he communicated so well to us. I will tell you, I had a chance to have a personal conversation with him as well, and to say thank you to him. He comes to the stage with humility, with a caring heart, with an understanding that we've been to hell in a handbasket, with the digital disaster, as we all might call it. He understands that. He cares about that. And he is making it right. He and his team of people that I got to speak to all three of them, the top people in the tech department. And I will say that they are doing for us what didn't happen, whatever it was a year ago. It's happening now, and it's happening in a way that is beautiful. And so here is what he explained, is that when we had the legacy system, which honestly, I kind of love that old legacy system. It worked for me. And I was kind of really sad to see it go with the digital, transformation that we had. But he showed us why we had to do something different. And, we were having outages like crazy with that old system. It just wasn't working anymore, y'all. And so we had to make a change. Granted, the initial change didn't go well, but guess what? We're having a do-over now, and it's going great. So is it all 100%? No, it's not there yet, but it's getting there, okay? So here are their 3 pillars of system integrity. The subscriptions, and y'all will be very excited to hear about some updates there. The orders are being tracked really well. They're being corrected as needed. The assignments are being made. If there's a hiccup there, that's being corrected. So the back office highlights, they talked about the dashboard that's being updated. Y'all know that we have a new back office system. You can log into juiceplus.com with your old back office ID information to get in. And we've got the reports at our fingertips. We've got the customer's information and ship dates, all of that. The account and onboarding information, and the U plus Juice Plus app is going to all be linked up. Actually, it is linked up to it. So it is really going to be a great thing. If you're just now getting into it, don't feel bad. I am too. It's fine. You're all good. So don't let it stress you out. So here is a really exciting update. They're going to be able to check out without creating their own account. They can just check out without any of the password stuff. It's going to be seamless. They can just check out and they can do the rest of that later. They're going to be able to manage their subscription very easily. Their quick action buttons. We'll all be learning about this, in the days and the weeks to come. Don't let it stress you. Know that you'll get it. You'll get it, but we'll all get it gradually over time. So, the subscription management's going to be much easier. There's going to be a send now, a delay, a skip, change of address, all that's available right there. And then guess what? We can add a product now. We can swap a product. Yay! There's going to be all this stuff that we've been wishing would happen. And then, so the U plus Use Plus app is going to be giving us intelligent notifications. So it's going to be giving us subscription notifications when, customers are up to, ship again. It's going to be giving us notifications when we have new orders, when we have upcoming, orders shipping, when we have canceled customers, in a failed payments, declined payments, all of that, much more will be at our fingertips. And okay. Then the back office is going to be really AI friendly. Hi, Emmy, what can I help you with? And you can actually tell it what you want and it'll pull it up for you. Give me Nellie's last order shipment tracking details. Find all the customers who placed orders for Luminate in the last 90 days. Whatever you want to ask it, and it'll just pop right up there. Do I know how to do any of this yet? No. It's okay. Don't worry about it. You'll get it. You'll get it gradually over time. Okay? We'll all get it. We're in this together and we're gonna all get it together. So the AI development is going to be extremely helpful to all of us. There's going to be health and wellness survey that we can share with customers. A lot of different ways that we can use AI, both with customers, with partners, etc. So we'll be learning more about that. So the takeaways on tech were, we've got it fixed. Does anybody want to throw confetti right now? With guest checkout, they can go ahead and place their order now without any of the headaches that we've had. And then the best part of all is the Juice Plus Tech team. They are here for us. They will listen, they will partner, they will deliver what we need. So it is super exciting. So then we got the app overview, and some really exciting things are happening with the app. So There's going to be an onboarding journey with training that is great. You know that we can share videos, we can share images, we can share carts from the app. There's going to be a new, what we call Pulse, um, customer alerts, and then also access to the back office through the U Plus Juice Plus app. There's going to be corporate announcements. Then there's something brand new that is called Vaults. Vaults is kind of like boards. It's actually, I think, going to take the place of boards, if I understand that correctly. But don't worry, you still got your boards, you still got all of this while we're getting used to, all of this new stuff. But with the vaults, you can actually have it on the Juice Plus app, and then you can also add your own content because, like some of y'all may be like I am, you have some videos that maybe weren't on the app that you like to share with people. Some of the videos maybe that you've made or your team has made, whatever. You can actually add that into the vault and any other content into the vault that you want to add. So I might not be able to answer too many questions about that right now, but we will all learn. We're all going to learn all this together. So we're going to have a media library update um, with a favorite section, business tools, product tools, and then miscellaneous with community events, healthy starts information, and more. Up into that. Okay, sorry. That is an old picture. So hang on just a second. And now I'm going to, I might not be able to share any more of these slides, but if I can't, that's okay, because we've got a lot of other people who are going to share today. Um, okay, it's not going to let me share. Okay, let's see. I'm going to just pull up a couple of things that I do want to share that y'all probably heard about. Okay, so the new Complete Shake. Okay, so they did an interview with people about the Complete Shakes, and everybody loves the taste. Everybody loves the nutritional value. Everybody loves the healthy benefits. However, who on here has heard the concern that there's too much sugar in the Complete? I know I've heard that a time or two. So for the summertime, and I don't know how long this new flavor will last, maybe indefinitely, but we have a new strawberry complete. And they gave it to us in the NMD meeting to sample. And we had we had it just with water. Now, I would say I would mix it with almond milk or, like a high protein plant-based milk to add additional protein. It's got 14 grams of protein, it's got 8 grams of fiber, only 2 grams of sugar. So I mixed it up with water, which I never do with Complete. I never mix water and Complete. Maybe some of y'all do, but I always mix mine with a plant milk. I really liked it. And honestly, y'all, I plan to drink it every day because, if you add a good plant-based milk that is a high protein, you can get 20 grams of protein, you know, 8 grams of fiber with only 2 grams of sugar. I think that is a huge win for all of us. We're also this summer, and that's going to start in June. We're also going to have a new flavor for the Luminate, watermelon lime Luminate, coming in June as well. Then we have this really fun trip that we can all win that is in January of 27. It's going to be in Texas, and it's very similar to the leadership event that I was able to go to in January of this year. And I would tell y'all, you want to be at that event. Truly, it was a fabulous event. Um, they spoiled us. They gave us top content as leaders. Um, it was really, really good. And they're making it pretty simple to get there. Between April 1 and September 30th of this year, if you get five new customers that order at least 300 ppv, if you get one new partner that is a P plus, that's a family user, right? That's an easy peasy, a husband and a wife, both on the quad, with a shake order or illuminate order, and you're there. And then you add three new PB qualifiers. That's the hard part. But we got a good chunk of time to get it done. So let's all try to be there, um, and just have fun together. We've got another trip in November coming up, as y'all know, and they're giving double points and lots of good things toward that over the summer months. But we also have a new special incentive called the Strive for Five. And I love this. They're giving us 6 weeks to do this. It started, you're probably already aware of it. You've probably already seen it on the office, but starting April 16th, if you get five new orders that are 300 ppv and above, that's like a trio or a superfood order, a quad order, anything like that, five new orders between April 16th and May 31st, then you'll get $500. But the cool thing is that have you ever been doing one of those promotions and like you almost got there, but you didn't? I had that happen. I had that happen last month. And it's like, dang, I almost got there, but I didn't get there. But oh well, my business is moving forward as a result of it. Y'all, I love these promotions. I encourage you to set a goal to do every one of them. I mean, if you don't get there, your business has still moved forward. But the beautiful thing about this Strive for Five is, that picture is really small, but they're going to, for every customer that you get, they're going to give you an incremental bonus. So if you get three instead of five, you're still going to get a bonus. It'll be a little bit lower bonus, but you still get a bonus. So I love that they're doing that. And then the last slide I have to share, and then we're going to go on. I'm going to stop sharing the screen since you can't see very well anyway. But I got to go to the healthcare provider breakfast, and y'all, we had Gerald Tolzer, who, for those of you who might be new, he is the cardiologist from Austria that did the very first in utero cardiac surgery on an embryo. And y'all, he's been recommending Juice Plus for 25 years because of the science behind Juice Plus. Y'all, we have got the best of the best. And we've got the best of the best healthcare providers. Um, the other thing about the healthcare provider breakfast is the company reiterated their commitment to our science, their commitment to our healthcare providers, and keeping us set apart by having, hundreds of healthcare providers recommending our product, as well as a continuing body of science. And they're committed to that. And, we know that there's studies in progress. I did hear that the study using the omegas on adolescent boys had very favorable results. So I had my three, grandsons that can chew capsules, chewing their capsules. We call them our smart capsules here at our house. And what child doesn't want to eat smart capsules, right? And they just chew it up, get the juice out, and spit out the hard capsule. So if your grandkids, your kids aren't doing that, you will want to be doing that. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Kristen Herman, who's going to take it away from here. And she was actually at the conference when the music started. So she is going to share her top takeaways. She's also going to share what her top action steps are. And that's what every person is going to share with you all of those who were there live. And that's with the hopes that as they share their action steps, you might be getting some ideas of what your action steps can be too, just in a real practical way. Because, we go to conference, we learn, we're inspired, we're encouraged, and then we come back and it's all for naught unless we step into action. And what I have learned, y'all, over my journey in the last 18 months is that action builds confidence. And I will tell you, 18 months ago, I was somebody that was kind of sitting in maintenance mode, on the sidelines in maintenance mode. And I got very inspired and rebuilt, my sea legs that were very wobbly and went into action. And my confidence has grown over the last 18 months to the place where I'm more confident about what we have and sharing it with others than I ever have been before. And 18 months ago, I wasn't like that. So, if you're somebody who's been sitting on the sidelines, now's the time to step off, go into action, and gain confidence. So, Christian, I'm gonna let you take it away.
Yay, Sharon. Oh my gosh, that was so good. Like, I can't wait to watch the recording and take better notes. So when Sharon asked me three takeaways, I was like, how am I going to only pick three things? That was my biggest struggle. But the three things that I wanted to share, my takeaways, one of them actually was from the Roberti wrap up. And that was Jeff Roberti getting up there. And what is one of the most common things that we hear from new partners? Who do I share it with? Right? Who do I talk to? And he said, who do you love? Who do you care about? And who can you help? It's three very simple questions. And one person shared with me many years ago, and this stuck with me. Who did you invite to your wedding? Start
Mm.
there. Start with who you obviously care about those people, right? Or know them on some level. And now we have the simple sharing system to do it, which is a feature in the app. Somebody else is probably going to talk on that, but it's amazing little curiosity building videos. And they're all really short. So anyway, there's this new simple sharing system, which is very exciting. The second thing, it came from Katrina Goodwin. Clearly, I was going from my notes back to front, not front to back. So, Katrina Goodwin talked about her events, and she said, stop telling people how to live their lives and start helping people to live their lives. And that really, really stuck out with me. And she literally walked us through step by step how she does a vendor event. Like they role played like they were doing a vendor event. And I don't know how you guys are, but when I see it and like watch them actually do it, now I feel like I can go, oh my goodness. So cute, Sharon. Oh my gosh. But now I feel like maybe I should put this on speaker mode. It is on speaker mode. Um, but now I feel like I can go do a vendor event and I know exactly what to do. So that was wonderful. And if anybody wants the steps on what she did, I kind of wrote that down. So if you are somebody who likes doing tables and vendor events, please reach out to me. I don't want to take up too much time today. And then the third thing um, is those were my three. So it was those were my three takeaways. Um, my action steps are one, to host a team coffee date to share with my team, people who couldn't get on here, who aren't going to watch the recording, like one-on-one with them as a team to discuss and share what we did at conference, all of this exciting stuff. And also, I'm doing a personal incentive to help them get to Tampa. So I'm doing something for them and I'm excited to share that with them. Um, my second action step is to find and create vendor events and tables. I'm going to put myself out there and do more of those now that I've been equipped from Katrina to move forward with that. And then the third thing, I was inspired from Whitney Lloyd. Y'all might have heard of her. Um, to create my 6 month calendar, to sit down with my calendar. Normally I do about 1 to 2 months at a time, but to sit down and do 6 months. So thank you, Whitney, for that. So I'm going to hand it over to my conference roomie, Lynn, and let her share her takeaways and action steps.
Yes, thank you. Good. Um, the they talked about it, sort of the tagline or whatever was ignite your future, and I thought that's a good thing to keep going back to what we do, ignite our future. And when we talk to people in health, we have that capacity too to ignite their future. And conference is always an excellent time to talk to people and hear their stories and realize just what the gift is that we have. But we've always heard of find a buddy. They, of course, brought that up again, but they use this term. Um, uh, the guy who's the interim, he talked about this race, and he used the term pacing partner. And I thought, wow, that's what I'm praying for, a pacing partner. Whether it's sideline, whether it's a Zoom buddy, whether it's just somebody that I, Voxer back and forth before, as I try to build somebody in my area. Another thing that Beth Leopold talked about was she used the term active. My family's active versus busy. And I think um, sometimes people see our activity and they interpret it as busy. But I think if we can switch that up to interpreting it as fun and community, then that is a helpful thing for them. Um, Another point that somebody made was to have a simple answer to what do you do. So as you go around in different things, you can ask people, what do you do? And then they naturally will turn around and ask you, well, what do you do? But if you have a simple answer for that, and I do sometimes, and other times I'm caught off guard. Um, and I think that goes for the product, both the business and the product. And then give samples, be generous there. And the company gave us a number of times we turned around, they gave us some of the superfood powder, but to be generous with that. And so one of the activities was they gave it to us and they sort of said, go out and see how many people you can give it to. And some of us did that as we were going, as we were doing it. And another thing that somebody said was that we have the tools. So now go do it. And indeed, we really have the tools, and they will train us on that. There's a success system, and I think that this Thursday night on the corporate call, they will go over that. The person who, Carrie Lynn, will share, and I'm sure she will share a lot of what she shared in conference. But the vault and the pulse and the robust nature of what is in the app is amazing, and it's doable to people who aren't highly technological. I've already been using the app, but it has now everything we've wanted. And it has made the catch points for the people under us. I got a call while I was at conference. Like I spent 45 minutes trying to delay my order, and like that's not going to be a problem now. Some of these things are rolling out. It may take 2 weeks for some of the things, but they are rolling out and they're rolling out soon. For myself, I do vendor events. I do one or two a month generally. And the funny thing is, I had to leave right when she started talking. So, Kristen, I'm going to hit you up. Um, but for me, doing an in-home event or do more in-home events, or I'm getting ready to do renovation in my house. So either I'll do it messy or I will go to a coffee shop or a restaurant. But to get with people, um, and maybe even just grab people who are customers or just friends, and they do these events with me. And then the power hours for me, because they talked a lot about consistency and DMO and that kind of thing, and that's where the power hours fall in. And then the third thing I will say is just sharing the business generously. So those are mine, and I am passing it on to the next person.
All right. Well, I think it's me. Sharon, stop me if it's not. But The cool thing about going in this order is some of mine were taken, so I get to pivot and hopefully add to the conversation. And sorry, my dog is eating. Is that really annoying and loud to everybody? Everybody, okay, good, thank you. Okay, so I am going to kind of pivot real quick and just start with our new interim CEO, which he's awesome, y'all. And I kind of hope he's not a short interim because he's doing such a good job. But he talked about that winners have the heart of a champion. And the part that was kind of obscure to me until he started describing it. And he said, champions pay the price and they just do a little bit more. They focus, but a little bit more. They save, but a little bit more. They work, but a little bit more. And that just really resonated with me in this season of life, that's where I need to be in the little bit more part. And then he said, don't just dream, do. And I thought this was awesome. And I hope I don't step on any toes. But he's like, write your vision boards. That's great. But you've got to actually do something. And so I thought that was a really good balance that we do need to dream and we do need to tell a friend and do vision boards. But if we just expect to somehow bring it into existence, we like actually have to do the work. And he kept talking about you need to get out there, you need to talk, you need to do the work. So I thought that was awesome and very biblical. Don't be hearers only, be doers. So I was like amen in that. And then I also loved what he said. Leaders have a come what may and love it attitude. He was like, you are going to have life. You are going to have bad things happen. You're going to have hard things happen. You're going to have good things happen. But you need to adopt the attitude that whatever happens, whatever comes, you're going to expect that it's going to come, and then you're going to love it and do it. And so I thought that was awesome. That was technically three. I pivoted from my others, but I just want to add on. Whitney ended hers with, "You're never going to go wrong with loving people," and I just thought that was powerful. She did such a great job, and consistency. Lynn hit it, but that's the number one thing. Actually saw some friends in the airport, Whitney, and they were talking about their one takeaway, and for me, that was consistency. As far as actual action steps, I'm going to try. Uh, Katrina Goodwin did such a fabulous job, y'all. It was so awesome. I loved everything that she said, and I know that she's from a town of 300 people, which resonated with me. Kingsport has more than that, but Potts Camp has 287. So it was very encouraging to hear that. And her work just this year, what was it like? She added 87 partners, like her work this year. So I thought that was cool. And I want to try to commit to just one of those social media times. I don't know that I can do all three every day, but she said pick one and be consistent with it. So I'm thinking evening right now, but I've got to evaluate that. And then the doctor, I can't remember her name, but she was from France, I think. Do you guys know who I'm talking about? She said that she sent her upline her action every single day. So, Sharon, I'm going to start sending you every single day what I do. I'm sorry, and I hope that's okay, but I think I need that level of accountability. And then I have never doubted the product. It totally changed everything for my family. I don't even doubt the company because I know I trust their heart. I've seen it. I think coming to conference is where you get to see the integrity of the company, the science, all of it. But the thing that I struggle with is myself. And so I think this doctor that spoke also talked about that she listened, I think it was her, to mindset every morning, just 10 minutes. And I think that has to become a part of my day. And I think that's going to change everything for me. So thank you guys for letting me talk.
I love that. That is awesome. Okay, I am going to see if I can share screen again and share with y'all one of the videos that was played. So, can y'all hear? Talk about medicine versus nutrition for a second. So, modern medicine allows us to have drugs, potent drugs that save lives, but they are aimed at one particular pathway. And I always had a little trouble with that as a cell biologist, biochemist. I had trouble with that. Nutrition hits hundreds of pathways.
affecting entire systems in the body that work and talk to each other, like the gut-brain axis. There's a whole different approach to the problem. So yes, in critical conditions, drugs have a purpose, but with nutrition, we are able to help people experience biological use for a longer period of time than otherwise. Regardless of what other habits people have, we can just meet them where they are and give them this simple little thing to add to their life, whether they take some capsules or stir up some superfood powders. It's not that hard to execute. And yes, medicine has a purpose, but I think nutrition has a bigger purpose for long-term health. When we start looking at healthcare from the perspective of spending money unintentionally when it's too late, we can go out there and be advocates of intentionally spending money on yourself, creating a future for yourself that is meaningful for your family, for your children, for your parents, for your friends. And it's not always an easy message to share. It's like, where do you start? But remember that somewhere deep inside, we understand the power of nutrition, and we now have all kinds of tools to be able to share that more effectively. So nutrition's where it's at for me. Well said.
So I have asked Sarah Ames to give us her summary of the medical panel after hearing Dr. Mitra Ray and what she shared. And so, Sarah, thank you so much for being willing to take that on.
Well, that's sort of scary when it's a lot of highlights. And so I won't say who it's from, but they because I just wrote continuously trying to write it down as fast as they said it. But the most what they started with was just how we need to be grounded in science. And they talked about how they were polyphenol addicts, I think is what they were saying, because they said, you cannot believe how many polyphenols we have in our products and how important that is, and that how Juice Plus has so many more than others. And they talked about what stands out is the way it's grown, the way it's tested, the way it's checked, and the synergy, that there's no other supplement that has that. And that just the foundation of the science is that everything is about the science, that without the science, we would have nothing. And the cardiologist talked a lot about the research. He went through and talked about the process. And he just said, he talked about how to distinguish between fake and real. And he said, when you pay, you have an outcome that is controlled. And he said, ours is published, it's in scientific, we know that. And so he just said, our research is outstanding. This is real science. And he did walk through the steps of that, and I won't go through that, but it is just the most stringent process of how many times it's checked and reviewed and analyzed. Dr. Ray did talk about how absorbing polyphenols was so important, that it is absorbed into the microbiome within an hour, and then within weeks, it is protecting our cellular level and our DNA. Dr. Tolzer talked about how, from a cardiovascular point, that the product is making our blood vessels wider, so it lowers our blood pressure and it improves the blood flow everywhere. He also stressed that we need the polyphenols to make the microbiome better, and that it also improves our brain function. And they talked about the brain study. They talked about the omegas in adolescence, which you touched on. And then Dr. Mitra Ray talked about how Juice Plus is different, that we can look at the label, that we don't have a supplement label, that, and I think a lot of us know this, but that was just really telling to be reminded that she said, you see a supplement label with a few fruits and vegetables. And she said, why do they need a supplement level if the fruits and vegetables are so good? Why would you need to even have that? She said, and of course, Juice Plus has the nutrition label, and we begin with plants. We don't add the fruits and vegetables, and just talked about the sophisticated process and how that all those plants are derived from the phytonutrients. That was wonderful. If we could get the video on that, it would be so good to have it. My 3 takeaways were, number 1 was, interestingly, my belief in the company is so strong without any question. I believe without a doubt, after hearing every single person that talked from the main stage about the business that, about with the company, that they have the right people, and you can just see them. I mean, they said, we are moving forward, and we all know that by just what we heard and saw the slides with the new products, the new systems, and AI that is coming. The way they're doing this is just incredible. And I think what I saw is that they want to continue, and they said this, to be the best and to deliver for us and for others. And so they continue, it's the same company, and they continue to want to have the heart to serve us and others and helping us do it together. That was brought up, how much better we are together. And I just loved that. The second came from Whitney, and it was just a real change in mindset for me. I see it now as a calling. And Whitney's title was talking about the power of being in the room. And I think that just shifted for me about the calling of when I go in the room. And she said, we never know what is going through someone's mind and what is happening in their life. And we know that, but everyone wants to be seen, heard, and loved. And I think when I look at that and think about having events, that it's just such a different mindset for me. And I look at it, I really see it as a calling now. So these were just major shifts for me. The third was, the trust in the product is just, I've always believed in it. I've never gone off of it for 25 years. But because of the research and hearing from these doctors and hearing the cardiologist say that I don't want to get this wrong because I thought it was so important. He said, I have swallowed more than 60,000 capsules, and I wouldn't have done it for the last 25 years if it wasn't proven to do what it does. So to me, to hear that cardiologist and knowing what his background is and what he does, that was just profound for me. And then my action steps are, the first one is to plan through my DMO to make the choice to action. And I think Amy touched on that, of not to be doers, but just, not to be hearers, but to be doers. The second one is connecting with my Juice Plus community, because I know that I will get distracted and I don't want to lose my vision. And I want to expect the unexpected, because as we heard, life is going to happen. But I know that if I stay connected, I'm not going to get lost, that my teammates will bring me back. And then number 3, I really liked this, and this helped me with my action step, is to see the season that I'm in. There was an example, wanted to look to make sure I had enough time. I believe it was the doctor that spoke, someone who was a doctor, and I don't remember her name, if somebody can help me with it, but she had 2 weights in her hand. And she said, when you start to exercise, she said, when you try to lift that big weight, she said, you just can't. It's so hard to do. And she said, but if you start off with a little bit lighter, she said, then it it's doable, and then you can increase. And so it just made me think about, all right, be reasonable with where I am. And I have the mindset to be consistent and disciplined for 30 days and then see where I go from there. Because I believe it will become a habit from there, and then I'll be able to increase. So those are my
I
takeaways.
love it. Oh, Sarah, thank you. You did the best job of helping us understand that medical panel. And I absolutely loved everything that you shared, everything that everyone shared. This has been such a gift, for those of us who couldn't be there for the whole conference. And so we are going to finish it up with our founder, who is Sandy Leonard. She's the one, none of us would be here if she hadn't answered the call 30 years ago, 30 plus years ago. And so she is going to share with us what the founders had to say. So thank you so much, Sandy.
Oh, thank you, Sharon. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. There were three founders that spoke at the end, and plus Mike Lohner, Carrie Daigle, Cynthia Gompers, and Wendy Campbell. Um, Carrie Daigle talked about the change from when he came into the company, it was all men, but now it's almost all women. So the major part of it. Um, he he of course was a boxing promoter, so everything falls into that vein. Um, he had 8 NMDs between he and Jeff Roberti that quit. Um, so he says that Juice Plus at the 1.0 was the start when Juice Plus started, and that was in 1993. Juice Plus 2.0 was complicated tech and inexperienced leadership. But now Juice Plus 3.0, we're going to set records like never before. So who is going to recognize 3.0 early and who is going to watch? So we don't just want to watch. Life is going to knock you down, but get up and keep punching. Cynthia Gompers was the fun factor. She background was an interior designer, and she shares in that way too. So she says 1 + 2 + 3 = success. One, put your hand over your heart. If it doesn't come from your heart, forget it. Number two, smile with your teeth. And number three, fun. Have fun with it. Just have a lot of fun. She said that she specializes in vision. Her best friend from high school took years to say yes, and now she's over half her business. It's amazing. Juice Plus bottles, she talked about crayons. Of course she would. Uh, she says that the bottles are in the box of crayons and the bottles are old labels. That shows legacy. The Omega is an updated label and it's outside the box. What defines you? Vision, purpose, and the calling define her. So next is Wendy Campbell. Who doesn't know Wendy Campbell? If you don't, you will soon. She's a nurse. She's been with the company for 32 years. And she said she would be 75 in June, and she still is full of passion. Passion is the key to success. She said, find a buddy. Her buddy is her husband. And find whys that make you cry. So she hopes we leave confidence with the attitude, I want to, I can, and I will. Mike Lohner also spoke at the end. He said his expectations are high, and this conference and the corporate team did exceed his expectations. Our new AI assistant will forever be called Jay, or Jay Martin. And Jay doesn't replace us, he empowers us.
Mm.
So I just wanted to share too, one of my takeaways and what I'm going to do. They did give away a lot of things. You need to be at the conference. You need to be in the seat in order to get these things. So everybody got a bag, and this came in the bag. A pen came in the bag, and a notebook came in the bag. Sharon, I have yours.
Oh.
Yay. And then the other thing was they also handed out, this was the neatest thing. They handed out, they had hundreds of these. The magazine, New Beauty magazine that we are in. So everybody got one of those as they left the room after one session. Also, I purchased this at conference. You can get this, you can buy it. The superfood brochures that you can put your sticks in, and the Illuminate brochures that you can put your sticks in. Once you put them in there, they fit in this. So I'm going to carry this around with me, keep it in my car, and then I'll have those to give out. So you can order those today. And that was it. It was wonderful. I told Sharon, until I went back over my notes, I was giving this conference an 8, 1 out of 10, 8. But after going through my notes, I gave it a 10. It's amazing what this small group of the home office was able to give us at the conference. And you have to be there to experience it.
I love that, Sandy. Thank you so much. That inspired us all. And thank you to everyone who shared. It was amazing. And I want to say right now, ink into your calendar September 10th through the 12th in Tampa. Between now and then, July 17th through the 19th is the Blue Ridge Boot Camp. That is very close to where Steve and I live. We are welcoming y'all into our home and having a celebration. So we hope that many of y'all will be at Blue Ridge Boot Camp. The tickets, there were only 100, and I hope there's still some tickets available, but if you don't have your ticket, I would go on immediately and get your ticket for that boot camp. It will be outstanding. And for those of you who aren't anywhere near Blue Ridge, then we'll look forward to seeing you in Tampa. But I wanted to just launch us off this call by giving you a few action steps. So you've heard a lot today, and you know that you're going to continue to hear. After conference, we hear things that continue to come out for weeks to come after conference. I do hope some of what was at conference will be recorded, as Sarah said, like the healthcare um, the team that they had that shared at the on the medical um, group. But we'll be seeing more, we'll be hearing more. But I want you today to sit down and write down for yourself, based on what you've heard, based on where you are, based on what you know about our product and the way it changes lives, what do you want to do moving forward with what you've been given? We've all been given a lot. And it's stewarding well what we've been given. And so I would encourage you to write your action steps down. I would encourage you to connect with your upline support person, whoever that might be, or your sideline support person, whoever you connect with in this business. I would get with them and um, make the commitment of what you want to do moving forward so that you have somebody else, a running buddy, a pacing partner, as Lynn said, and also some accountability, because we don't want to just be hearers, we want to be doers. And I'm just again going to say that by doing, you gain confidence. And you flex those muscles and then you can pick up heavier weights. So just get started. And we do have some great events this week. Um, Whitney Lloyd is going to be doing her conference presentation on Zoom on Tuesday night. We also have on Wednesday, Whitney and Christy Love are going to be doing their business update. And they do a business training for those who are doing this business 3 to 5 hours a week or less. And so that is going to be on Wednesday at 1 Eastern and again at 8 Eastern. And then Thursday, we've got the great training coming from the company with Carolyn Netco. So we have a lot this week. I encourage you to, you know, um, ink those into your calendar, be on, get the training, and then take it out and put it to action. See who you can bless with what you've been given, because that's what it's all about. He who is given much, of much is expected, and we've been given so much. So let's go out and let's be a blessing to those around us. Let's change the health of our country, one person, one family, one community at a time. Y'all, we can do it. We can do it. So thanks y'all for being on. I'm going to stop the recording and take any questions if anybody has any. Uh-oh.